In this video, I'm going to talk about building a high performance information diet. I don't even know what to call this thing. I'm going to show you how to create a media and content diet that actually serves you. I'm going to show you how to create a media and content diet that helps you develop your worldview, helps you make more money, helps you become a better person, helps you focus more. This is like one of the things you don't hear people talk too much about, but it is one of the things that I think has really made a difference in my life over the last couple of weeks. And when I learn lessons, that's what I have this channel for, is to share them with you. So I thought I'd make a video just talking through the lessons I've learned, how I've curated my media diet to make me more money, and just walk you through why this even matters in the first place. It seems very, very woo-woo if you've never thought about what kind of information you're consuming. But I want you to think about this. You probably spend a couple hours a day consuming some sort of media. On social media, on YouTube, maybe you listen to music. You probably spend maybe 2, 3, 4 hours a day consuming some sort of media. It could be Netflix shows, it could be whatever. And if you were serious about hitting your goals, if you're serious about becoming the kind of person you want to become, if you're serious about growing this business and becoming the entrepreneur that you need to become, you'd care a lot about what information you consumed. It's like, if you think about a professional athlete, they're great because they care about every little thing that goes into their body. They track their workouts. They're intentional with it. And that's what building a media content diet really is about. It's about being more intentional with what you allow to influence your worldview. And if you were serious about your goals in health and fitness, you would track those things. If you're serious about your goals in business, you would care about what kind of information you let into your brain. You'd be careful about what kind of things influence your worldview. The reason I was even thinking about this in the first place, because for me, this is something that I've thought very little about, honestly, is I've been reading this book called The Screwtape Letters. And the core concept of this book, it's letters written by one demon to another demon, telling that demon how to ruin someone's life. It's a really interesting perspective. And the core essence of one of the chapters is the demon is basically writing the other demon saying, I can't do anything against the person who I'm trying to send to hell. I can't actually make their life worse. The only thing I can make them do is inflict harm on themselves. So every time they make a mistake, it's their own doing, and I just led them to it. I just held that tension there for that person to make the mistake. And one of the things that they write to the other demon is, we can't do anything against this person. The only thing we can do is keep them distracted. And that got me thinking about just when I've been the sharpest in my life, and when I've been the most focused, I'm like a genius. Like humbly, I'm like a genius. And I think everyone is like that. I think that for most people, they're just too distracted to be good at anything. You watching this video, you might relate to that. You might know that you're called to something more. You might know that you want to build this business. And there's probably even a part of you that thinks you can do it, or thinks you can do it better than you're currently doing it. And if you're really honest with yourself, really honest with yourself, it's down to you. And I was limited on how good of a person I could be, how good an executor I could be, how good of a Christian I could be, because I was consuming the wrong information. My information was like poisoning my worldview, which sounds like a little bit of a woo-woo topic, but I'm going to talk you through tactically what I did to change that and the whole journey I've had with this. The first thing I did when I realized, like, wow, the content in the media that I'm spending hours a day consuming is poisoning or tearing up my entire worldview. I went on Spotify. I had 2,000 songs saved. I've had this Spotify for like over 10 years, since I was like 14. And I went through and I deleted any song that wasn't progressive to my worldview. So I deleted any sort of like the gangster rap. I deleted anything that would be influencing to my emotions, because it's one of the things you don't think about with music, is that it's going to influence how you feel in a day. Like if you listen to sad songs all day, you won't be surprised when you end up depressed, right? Like there's music that I was listening to and enjoyed that was either just giving me cheap hits of dopamine and like distracting me from the real work, giving me these emotional roller coasters because it's influencing my emotions, or it's just influencing my worldview to make me want things that I didn't really even want. I was just influenced to want them. It's like, we're just so malleable as humans. Like monkey see, monkey do. And I was being more influenced by the world than I was influencing the world. One of the mentors of mine, he said that the litmus test of, I'm gonna mess up the quote. The litmus test of if you're ready to be a pastor, maybe, or something it was, is, do you have a greater impact on the world than the world has on you? And when I answered that question, I thought, honestly, no. Like, I am being so influenced by all the content and media that I consume. So that was the first thing I did, is I went and I cleared all my Spotify. The second thing I did is I went and I cleaned up my YouTube subscriptions. And this one was tricky because one of the things that I thought was really building me up as an entrepreneur was I watched tons of business content, like everyone's stuff. I watched it, and I would spend hours a day watching like all of my favorite business YouTubers. But at the end of the day, I was trying to solve for problems I didn't have. Like, I was watching people talk through like, here's how you close more sales calls, when I didn't have a sales problem. It was like information as distraction rather than information as a tool to make me more progress in my business. And what I realized is that I was consuming information on a just-in-case basis rather than a just-in-time basis, which is one of the things I've thought about before, but I wasn't living out well. So I went and I removed a bunch of subscriptions, and I set blockers on my YouTube. Because on my YouTube, I wasn't watching like horrible brain rot filth stuff. I was watching business content, and I mistaked that for productivity. I mistaked that for progress, that I was like learning all these things to feel good about myself, when really it was like, what would actually make me feel good is helping more people, growing my business. And what I really need to do that is just sit down and make content for you, or sit down in front of the laptop and build things. I don't need to watch more content. In the world that we live in, you probably don't need more content. Like, unless you're just getting started in this world, what you probably need is better execution of the things that you're already doing, or the things that you know you should be doing. You need to be doing those. You don't need more information. That's one of the things in this world, especially now that we have more than anything else. So that's the second thing I did. Deleted all my Spotify, went on YouTube, cleared up my subscriptions. And the third thing I'm doing is I'm just being way more mindful with how I speak. Oh gosh, dude, I really should have prepped. I should have prepped some notes for these videos, but I want to be me talking to you style videos. There's a bunch of verses in the Bible, which I really should have memorized because I wanted to memorize these ones, about the power the tongue has over the heart, and how what we speak influences our worldview, and how we view ourselves, how we view our work, how we view others. Like, if I was always talking negatively about my work, I could not be surprised when I hated it. If I'm always listening to sad music, I can't be surprised when I'm depressed. So one of the things, third thing I'm trying to be way more intentional about is just how I speak. What words do I use? And that means removing like any sort of insults. Like, even, you know, guys will trash talk each other and they'll call each other names and whatnot, and they're not being rude to each other. It's just how guys are with each other. I want to stop doing stuff like that. I want to really purify my worldview and change my perspective on my work, my clients, my life. I had a sales call the other day with this guy who was like, I hate my job. I hate the people that I work with. I hate that I have to work in the first place. And he probably would have bought our thing if I pitched it to him, but I didn't pitch it to him because I was like, dude, I don't want to work with people who hate their lives. I don't want to work with people who are miserable, because what is that going to do to me? Like, what kind of influence do my clients have over me? What kind of influence does the world have on me versus the influence I have on the world? I need to be creating content more than I'm consuming it, is really the moral and the lesson in this YouTube video, and you probably need to be doing the same. I need to create more than I consume. I need to have a greater impact on the world than the world has on me. So no more crap on Spotify, no more fluff on YouTube, no more talking poorly about others, myself, the world, etc. I'm gonna change all of these things, change my worldviews, change my perspectives on this, and really just step into the God-given purpose that I have.